one of the most shocking games of the weekend. South Florida beats Florida, which is nuts. So, fire Billy Napier. Is that a overreaction or underreaction? But let's talk a little bit about it first. So, South Florida absolutely shocked the world. I was actually really tempted to put that game on our predictions last week, but I don't know. I heard somewhere that their quarterback was hurt or suspended for the first half of the game. So I was like, I'll leave it out. But turns out he got to play like the whole game. And man, what a difference that made.
Yeah. So I think the thing to look here is Alex Golesh. He's probably going to be a coach in the SEC pretty soon. This is his third year there, and he already, had tough games against Alabama twice, and now he's knocked off Florida. This is a guy who was an OC at Tennessee, under Heupel. So probably be seeing him in the SEC pretty soon. But yeah, what a big win for South Florida. And really two big wins in a row, right? They beat Boise State last week.
Yeah.
So you've got a team in South Florida that's got 2 wins over ranked opponents already to start the year.
Yeah, and that has propelled them into the top 25, coming in at 18, which leads to a great matchup this weekend, which no one saw coming. But the big story of the game was DJ Lagway. He didn't have his best game. There's a lot of talk from other pundits saying that he looked like a player that has missed a lot of practice.
Yeah,
and
I think that's something we've been saying, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we've been saying all year.
Everybody who was ready to anoint him the Heisman when he had 12 touchdowns and 9 picks last year and around 60% completion, and then proceeded to miss spring practice and miss summer practice. That sounds like a guy who could need to work on some things. And yes, immensely talented for sure, but he completed 67% of his passes yesterday. But there were a couple times where bad mechanics, he threw a pick, just some other things made you wonder if maybe just a little bit more time of practice and maybe he makes those plays correct. Because Brooks Austin did a big breakdown today of some of his mechanics, and there's definitely things that could have been fixed with a little practice.
Practice? We talking practice? So, yeah, that's obviously something we've talked about a lot in the off season, because we're pretty high on Florida going into the season, even though, you look at their schedule and it's a murderer's row and they're about to hit that gauntlet right now. So this loss is awful for them. But a lot of people are throwing out, look at what happened to Notre Dame last year against NIU, and they lost and they rattled off all the wins and got them into the playoff. There's a big difference, though.
There's quite a big difference.
The schedule that Florida is playing is immensely tougher than what Notre Dame had to play.
Right. Does Florida have any games left on their schedule that are not against ranked opponents?
I don't think so. maybe like the FCS team near the end of the season.
Right. Well, they already got that game out of the way. They've got Miami and Florida State left out of conference. So they don't have that cupcake. That was last week, and this was supposed to be it. So they've got their 8 SEC games, and then they've got Miami and they've got Florida State. So there's no more gimmies left on the schedule.
No, but football in Florida is fun again.
That's it. Yeah.
It really is.
What is Florida the 4th worst team in the state of Florida?
Yeah, I think so. UCF's pretty good, right?
Yeah, but you got Miami and you got Florida State and you got South Florida.
Yeah.
So all of those schools are better, have a better claim than Florida right now.
FIU, they're better than them.
I don't know about. Yeah. Yeah.
Now Lane Kiffin, FIU, I don't know. Maybe different.
he was Florida Atlantic. He was FAU.
Oh, FAU.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but just a
FIU,
little bit,
FAU.
but just a little bit more at this game. I mean, how did Florida lose this game? Penalties and settling for field goals, right?
Yeah.
Florida, for its, for Lagway, who, like I said, completed 2/3 of his passes, as a team, they only ended up with 355 yards. And they settled for field goals until they finally scored a touchdown there in the second half to take the lead. But penalties are a problem. 103 yards,
especially at the end of the game.
Right.
We had. I don't know if this is becoming a thing. It's going to be an epidemic because there's always like that one thing each year that is just so dumb, but people continue to do it. Like last year, it was dropping the ball right before you cross the end zone. This year, it's spitting.
Yeah. So, like I said, Florida had its chances to win this game. South Florida went for a 58-yard field goal that they missed earlier, but they were able to get it down the field after those penalties. They got it down to the Florida 2-yard line. So it was just automatic. And look who made the field goal. It was Nico Gramatica. There's another one of the Gramaticas.
When I heard that name, when I heard that name, I did a double take. I was like, did he just say Gramatica?
I just hope he didn't hurt himself celebrating,
Oh my gosh. He almost made that 58-yarder.
Yeah.
It was close.
I'm assuming those are his dad, uncles, something related, because they would certainly try that field goal too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he almost got it. I mean, if he was in a higher elevation, he probably makes that.
Yeah. So back to your question, fire Billy Napier. Is that an overreaction or an underreaction? What you think?
Given his track record at Florida, I don't think it's I don't think it's an overreaction. It's an underreaction.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he has made it to today. Frankly,
I'm going to take the other side of the page. I'm going to say it's a little bit of an overreaction simply because Florida still has a chance to redeem itself because of their ridiculous schedule. If he pulls some upsets over the next few games and can get this team to an 8-4 season, even though that's losing 3 more games, but if he can somehow get them to an 8-4 season, I don't think he gets fired just because of the schedule facing ahead of them and where they are. So, will he be fired? I think he's probably going to be. But is it an underreaction to say he should be fired right now? Yeah, I think so. I think, is it an overreaction to say that he's definitely going to be fired? Right now, I think it is, just because I think they still have a chance to right the ship.
And that's a fair point. I just don't see it happening. The schedule is just, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Now, if he does turn it around and they somehow make it into the playoffs, then he'll get an extension.
Right.
Who knows? I don't think it'll happen, but yeah, time will tell. All right. So that will do it for this week's edition of the Nitro College Football Show. Looking forward to this upcoming weekend. We got some great games, and we'll be watching them all. And look out for the Georgia post game, the Dogs post game after the game. Might be a little late, but it'll be good, hopefully.
Yep.
All right. So until next week, Sunday, 9 o'clock. I'm Burl.
I'm Street.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.